What's up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything recent. I will get to that fairly soon, I promise. However, there's just something I want to do a little side rant on today. One second. So, the vaccine. I feel like at this point, it's been irritating everybody. I know I'm irritated. I know every one of my friends is irritated. I understand why it's a big deal here. But it's so stressful, especially for foreigners. Like, first, they wouldn't accept our vaccinations if we were vaccinated in our home country. It took us forever for them to actually finally allow us to register our vaccinations, and even then, sometimes some places don't accept the foreign. Now it's the booster shot, and now they're saying if it's been 6 months since your second vaccination or your first, for those of us who have J&J, you're not allowed to go sit down in restaurants. You're not allowed to go certain places. And it's even more stressful for us, especially those of us that are staying for a year, because we're already so unsure about getting vaccinated. And now we have to worry about this stupid booster shot stuff. Like, my friend and I, we went out to go eat breakfast this morning, and I was rejected at the door because, so he's Korean and I'm not. And already when I scan my QR code, because that's one thing that I will talk about in another video, but I scan my QR code, automatically it tells them that I don't have my booster shot. Actually, what it says is I'm not fully vaccinated, which is a lie, because I am fully vaccinated and I have my registration paperwork. And usually you just show them the registration paperwork, they'll accept you, they'll let you in, no problem. But now with the stupid booster shot, they're checking the dates, and they're like, mine, I suppose, I got mine in July before I got here. It's now January, and they're like, oh, your 6 months is up. The booster shot didn't even exist when I got here. And now some places are, it's not 6 months after your second vaccination, it's 3. It's so stressful having to keep up with these changing dates and having to keep up with what you're supposed to and not supposed to do and what you're allowed and not allowed to do. And when and I knew coming here with this was going to be difficult. I did not know that they were going to keep changing stuff up so much to the point where it would be so frustrating just to be here. And so, of course, today really irritated me. This morning really, really irritated me. It was embarrassing and it was frustrating. So I literally, as soon as we were done with breakfast, I went to the public health office to get my vaccination, to try to get my booster shot. And I even made a post about it on my social media asking if anybody knew how I could schedule a booster shot. And everyone was telling me, you don't have to. Just walk in and they'll help you. Just walk in and you can get it done, or they'll schedule you for the same day. I walk in there. Nope. Turns out you do have to make a reservation either online or by calling the hotline. And so I sat in that office 20-30 minutes. Everyone went to lunch. I was still trying to call somebody on the phone to get some help. And I'm sitting there in the lobby, and now it's completely empty. And I finally asked the lady, I'm like, would it be easier to just schedule it online? And she goes, or you can wait until we're all off our lunch break. And I'm like, it's so frustrating. I understand it's hard for Koreans because they're actually scared about this. And I understand a lot of countries think of America as being like carefree about COVID. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even want to get vaccinated at first. It really did scare me. I still kind of wish I wasn't, but I'm glad that I am, because now I knew they were going to require it eventually, and they did. They wound up requiring all foreigners to get vaccinated in Korea by October, and so I'm glad that I got it done, but I don't know. I'm not planning on leaving anytime soon. That's something they don't have to worry about. I plan to stay, finish my year, despite all this crap going on. It's just, we talk about moving on from this, and there's so much more that I want to say that I can't say because it's so controversial, and this is supposed to be a family-friendly vlog channel. But it's really hard. We talk about moving on and progressing from this, but we're not. We're just making it worse. And I understand it's Korea. I have to abide by their rules. I have to follow their laws. That's not my issue. It's like they're telling us one thing and then making us do so other many things, and we're just circling around the issue. It's like, it's not getting any better, and we're only stressing ourselves out and making it worse. I say ourselves, I mean the people in the country. I don't mean Koreans versus foreigners or anything like that. It's just, and now with the PCR tests and everything too, like these rapid testings, they're not 100% accurate. Like, I have a friend, she got tested positive for COVID, had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine, and yet she had three or four home tests delivered, ones that don't take 24 hours, ones that take like 2 or 3 days to develop, and she took them all within a few hours of each other. They were all negative. So I don't know. I don't trust these rush PCR tests. Yeah, because now you need a negative PCR test less than 24 hours before you leave the country. Like, Korea is doing the most, but is it making things better? I don't think so. That's my opinion. I'm not trying to bash on Korea or anything for this, but it's getting really hard being here and having to worry about whether or not I'm gonna get sick. Even people who aren't positive, people who are testing negative, still have to quarantine for 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. Like, I understand a lot of other countries. Please do not think that I'm discriminating Korea, because I'm not. I understand a lot of other countries are going through the same thing. This is just the experience that I'm having here. So please do not think that I'm blaming Korea for a bunch of stuff and leaving out what other countries are doing. That's not it at all. But yeah, with the restrictions back up too, it's a mess. Everything is open 5 to 9 p.m. 5 a.m. Clubbing has become a thing now. It's just literally, we're right back where we started. Anyway, I'm going to try to post more videos pretty soon. I've got some more that I'm working on, but I just needed to get this out because you guys have been asking me questions about how it's going over here. This is